What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Jeremy Cash, live and direct with another valuable video for you. This video right here will be extremely powerful, and those of you who make it to the end will be blessed by this video. I can assure you of that, right? This here is the power of credit and what they didn't want you to know, right? You see the little don't tell nobody? This is how most people view you online, right? They want to hide all the information from you so they can continue to make more money off of you. But this method that I'm going to show you in this video will not only help you, but it will help your family, it will help your friends, and everyone around you who's serious about it become very successful within the next 6 to 8 months, guys. I'm going to show you what they don't want you to know. So let's get right into it. Why is credit so important? Because you can leverage it to get rich. And see, this is what the rich and wealthy people are doing, and this is why, since now I've been around a lot of 6 and 7 figure earners, I figured out exactly what they do, exactly how it's done, and I'm going to teach and show you that today. You're probably thinking like, what? Yes, you can leverage your credit to get rich, and I'm going to prove it to you in this video. So let's get to it. How is that possible? And if so, why isn't everybody rich already? The truth is, guys, most people just don't like to invest in themselves. That's the honest truth, right? Most people do not like to invest in themselves, and that's facts, okay? So if people decide, that they want to get rich, then they'll get rich. When they decide and they put in that effort and they invest in themselves, they're going to get rich. They're going to get extremely wealthy, and there's nothing you can do about it. But those people who do not want to invest in themselves, they're not going to do anything in life. They're just going to be exactly where they are now. So by you watching this video, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your knowledge, and this knowledge will take you extremely far. So keep paying attention. Check this out. The only thing stopping you, right, is money. Is that correct? Probably thinking, oh yes, that's the only thing stopping you right now. If you had more money, you could do more things, right? If you had more money, you probably wouldn't be at the job that you are now if you don't like that job, right? How would your life be if you could wake up and do exactly what you want? You can go travel whenever you want. You don't have to worry about someone telling you to, take a lunch break. You don't have to worry about asking for vacation time. You don't have to worry about getting in traffic in the morning. I don't have to do any of that. And a lot of this is part of the reason why. This was one thing I was missing in my business, that I now never have to go back to a job ever again. Thank God. So let's get to it. I will show you how to get $40,000 to $100,000 in 2020. Since 2020 is coming up, guys, and if you're in 2020 later down the line and you're watching this video, it still applies to you forever and beyond, okay? So check this out. This is probably going to be your look on your face when you see this content. All right, so check this stuff out, guys. This stuff it's not really secret, but a lot of you did not know about this, or you didn't know how serious it was and how it could help you better your life. So let's get to it. This right here is credit cards, guys. This video is going to be about the power of credit and the power of credit cards. So what you're looking at right now is a guy by the name of William Roundtree, okay? He wrote the book Credit is King. I have this book as well. This is not my picture. This is actually his picture from his Instagram. As you can see right here, where my mouse cursor is, he has a $50,000 limit credit card with Bank of America, right? This is also all of his other credit cards that he has, and he has even more than this, but this is just all the ones that he wanted to post, okay? So his analogy is that he turns credit into cash, right? Into cash flow. And that's the ideology that I have behind this whole video. And this was the missing piece for a lot of you, right? A lot of you. This was the missing piece that you needed to escape your job. I can assure you of that, because this was the missing piece that I was missing back in the day to escape my job. Lucky for you, I unlocked the code to it, and now you're gonna have access to it. So why would you want to have all these credit cards? Aren't credit cards bad? Aren't credit cards evil? Shouldn't you stay away? Or Dave Ramsey said this and all of this, guys. Listen, one thing I did learn in college is my professor said there's more than one way to get to Walmart. Okay, so there's more than one way to get rich. There's more than one way to get wealthy. Once you understand that, you will tap into things. A lot of people wanted you to stay away from these because they know the power in it, and if you figured it out, you will become as wealthy as they are. You see, or you had parents who told you to stay away from these because they didn't know the value in it, and they used their stuff to buy washers and dryers and clothes and shoes and things that was not gonna put money in their pocket. But you watching this video, you're gonna be different, guys. So in the next 6 to 8 months, guys, you could be looking like this: $50,000 here, and I think this is over $500,000 in credit, guys, that you can then use to turn into cash. Let's get it. So this is my guy J Knows Credit on Instagram. He said credit is the new money, right? You see he has around, I think this is about over $200,000. He said something here like, you know, credit is the new money phone. Hello, yes, I am approved. For how much? 30K, sir, and no interest for 18 months. This was very powerful. If you understand credit and you understand no interest for 18 months, then you understand the damage that can be done by having this. But we'll get into all of this very, very shortly. Okay. This was another credit card from J Knows Credit, a $20,000 limit. So let me ask you guys this: where you're at currently? A lot of you watching me are young. A few of you people who are watching me are older. Some of you have bad credit. Some of you have okay credit. Some of you've never even leveraged your credit or used it. But where would you go right now if you work? I know a few of you work at warehouse jobs like I did. A few of you are truckers. I have a homeboy that's a trucker, right? A few of you, you know, may work at a front desk or at a, office or whatever it is, right? How would you, let me ask you this question. When would your job ever give you a $20,000 raise, right? When would your job ever give you a $20,000 raise? See, most people, they're happy about a 50-cent raise every year. That's trash. That is garbage. Your job gives you a 50-cent raise and maybe a extra $200 bonus on your check, and you're extremely excited. But what about you getting your credit fixed, right? Fixing your credit, getting it fixed so where you can apply and then get $20,000, $40,000, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 in your pocket in the same year that your job didn't give you the raise. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of people making $12 an hour, $15 an hour, $18 an hour, and you think you're making good money. No, you're not. And you're not going to be able to play the game how the rich play the game if you don't understand it. But I'm telling you right now, if you guys get your credit fixed and you use these cards to your benefit, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that, and I'm going to show you. But just imagine going from $15 an hour, right? Paying your bills, not having really much money left over after your check, but then having $60,000, $70,000 worth of credit available to you that you can now invest in yourself and grow your businesses. But it's going to get better than this, so let's go. This right here is a guy by the name of CJ the Credit Fixer, another guy that I usually recommend. Check this out. He helped a client, okay? Now this is in one day, okay? One day, helped the client get $24,000 on one card and $10,000 on another card. So that's $34,000 in one single day. All because they had their credit fixed. Okay, now we're gonna go over the things that you can do with this and the power in it, but I just want you to understand $34,000 in one day. Now this is probably better than CPA, this is probably better than Forex, this is probably better than all of it, because you need credit, especially in the United States, you need credit to get by, right? Especially if you're somebody who comes from less, if you come from the hood, if you come from the ghetto, if you just come from not enough, if you didn't come from a silver spoon. This is your ticket out. I promise you, guys, this is the stuff that they didn't want you to know, because if you learn this, I know you want CPA, I know you want affiliate marketing, I know you want all that stuff, right? But if you learn this, all of that other stuff will fall into place how it's supposed to, and I'll go over that as well. This right here is a guy by the name of Daryl Drake, another one of my good friends. Daryl Drake has been online for a while, okay? Some of you may know who Daryl Drake is. But this was in 2017. This just lets you know how long the gurus have been doing this stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? This just lets you know how long they've been doing it. Even longer than this though. But He said if people only knew how credit can create cash flow, they would drop everything and get their credit fixed. 33,000 in 7 days, guys. 33,000 in 7 days. He turned his credit into cash. $18,000 checks and then cash. Do you see this? This is what you were missing out on. So while you're at your job right now, and while you're, stressed about bills, stressed about money, you don't have to be, guys. The money is there. All your dreams and all of the things that you want to do is all lies in you getting your credit fixed. And I can't stress this enough, guys, because the power and the leverage that you will have from just doing this, you will not even need a job anymore, right? You now have the money to fund your dreams and do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do. And that can happen in the next 6 to 8 months, guys. I'll teach you and show you how. But let's get into it. This right here is my guy, Neil Charles. Shout outs to Neil Charles. My guy, Neil Charles, if you can see in the bottom left, right down here, he says, I increased my overall credit limit to $121,000, guys, in credit cards. $121,000 in credit cards. And guess what he said he was using it for? At the bottom, he says, more funding for Forex. Imagine having $121,000 that you can now use for something like Forex, right? Even though he wouldn't use the entire thing, but now he has thousands of dollars to play with in the market. And if he learned the skill, and once he does learn the skill, he can make that same amount, $2,000-$3,000 a day. Guys, this is how people are doing it. This is how people are eating. Okay? This is the thing that you were missing. Now that you're going to have this information, I want you to make sure you use this to your advantage. Okay? Shout outs to Latanya, right? I share a lot of her stuff on my Facebook as well. She calls herself the credit queen, my bad. The credit queen. She said, I bought my first flip house with a Discover credit card, guys. This kind of stuff is very, very powerful. And if you're 18, 19, 20, 40, 50, if you never knew how to come up in life, if you never knew how to get your breakthrough, it all lied in getting your credit fixed, using debt, turning debt into cash flow to then fund your life and your dreams, guys. Do not run away from this kind of debt because you didn't have the knowledge. Turn to this because this can help you come out of your situation, right? We're all called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, correct? You can borrow in order to become the lender. This is how you do it. All right, so check this out. She bought a rent house. She bought a first flip house with $5,000 credit card. Now, how was she able to do that? Now, check this out. She could do a 0% credit card, a 0% interest credit card. This is what most people do. 0% interest. Remember that. No interest on the card. So whatever she takes off, she doesn't have to pay for it. So check this out. Takes a 0% interest credit card, does a balance transfer check of $5,000, goes on Zillow or wherever, buys a house, and bingo, now she has an asset. But we'll get into that in just a second. This type of stuff right here, guys, you ever wonder how those Facebook people, those YouTube people are running all of these ads and they have all of this freaking money and you see their ads everywhere, and then they show you their proof and they're like, yo, I spent $8,000 and I made $300,000, right? I spent $8,000, I made $300,000. Do you see this? And you're like, dang, if I just had that kind of money, you didn't know. But this is what they're doing, guys. They're using credit. They're using the bank's money, other people's money, to make way more money. They're not using their own money. They're using 0% interest credit cards. They're running them up. They're scaling their campaigns, and they're profiting ridiculous off of it, right? You make $300,000. Well, now you can take off that $8,000 that you spent off your credit card, put that $8,000 back, and now you have your complete credit limit available. Okay, again, this right here, spent $98,000 from a business credit card, profited $520,000. Isn't that a smart deal? You spent $98,000. See, some of you didn't think that you would ever see this kind of money in your life. A lot of you never knew how you would even get to the point where you can see six figures or where you can have six figures. But I'm telling you right now, if you get your credit fixed, you can then apply for cards and have over $100,000 in your pocket within 6 to 8 months and maybe even a year, right? It's so many things that you guys have been missing out on, but I'm telling you, I'm around gurus and I'm seeing this stuff all the time. Most people that are wealthy do not use debit cards. They don't use them. They use nothing but credit cards, and there's a reason why. But we'll get into that. Do you guys remember Tai Lopez? Tai Lopez is still around, but most of you remember this here in my garage video around 2015. Well, this video now has around 69 million views, guys. Let me tell you about Tai Lopez. When Tai Lopez first came out in 2015, he was the first person to ever run YouTube ads the way that he did. No one else has seen anything like it. This guy was everywhere. He was on every blog. He was on every YouTube video that popped up. It didn't matter. You saw this video here in my garage, right? And people were wondering, how the heck did this guy, where did he come from? He came out of nowhere, guys. Tai Lopez was not rich. He tells you he wasn't rich. I got his courses, I got his stuff. This guy was not rich. He discovered the power in business credit, guys. He discovered the power in credit, right? He built it up to where he had a ton of credit cards and a ton of credit available, and then he used it to run ads. So peep this. Tai Lopez reveals his secrets to how he made millions from social media. And in this article and in his his courses and things like that, he reveals, hey, he spent around, I think was it around $80,000 to $150,000 in credit cards and credit, right? To then scale these ads. And he kept putting money into them. Imagine if you put $80,000 to $150,000 in a YouTube ad. That ad is going to be freaking everywhere, right? So he leveraged the credit and the bank's money to freaking become a millionaire. And guess how much he's worth today, guys? Let's see. $60 million, guys. 2015, he was pretty much broke, okay? He probably had a little money, but he didn't have 60 million. He was smart enough to go ahead and build his credit and his credit cards up, right, to a certain point, okay? And then he was able to use that to then fund his YouTube his ads and his Google ads and all that. He funded that, and now he's worth $60 million, guys. This is the power of credit. Anybody can do this, but most people are not willing to invest in themselves, and that's why most people are not here, right? Jim Rohn, another millionaire entrepreneur, motivational speaker, said it was easy to get rich. He got easy, but by the time he was 31, he got rich. And he was saying, well, if it's that easy to get rich, why are most people not rich? And he said, because it's easy not to, which is very true. It's easy to get up every day and not do what you know you're supposed to do to get to the next level. It's easy not to do it because you don't feel like it, or you don't got, your ideas aren't flowing, so you just give up and you kind of just watch TV. You don't practice your ideas. But it's easy to get rich when you stay consistent at something, you work hard at something, and you just keep going. That's why it's easy to get rich, especially in America, because we have access to these type of things, right? So let's talk about Tai Lopez's protege, Stephen Lau, right? This guy is 20 years old. He's probably like 21 now, but he was 20 years old, and he had, as you can see at the bottom, $3.2 million in credit cards. $3.2 million in credit cards at the age of 20 years old. This guy is a freaking genius. I watched his courses. I checked out all his stuff. He's a genius. He's smart, very smart at this age. And if I was 20 years old and I had this knowledge, it would have been game over. Do you hear me? But let's get to it. So this is a picture off his Instagram. As you can see, credit. He's living that lifestyle, guys. At 20 years old, he knows the power of credit. He's living like a freaking millionaire because he is a millionaire. He's credit rich. And credit rich is just like being cash rich. You can do the exact same stuff, guys. But actually, credit rich is actually better than being cash rich in a sense, because that's all the banks look at whenever you want to go get certain things. Everybody looks at credit, right? And this guy has it down packed. If you can follow him on freaking Instagram. But check it. This is an Instagram. It's called Credit. You could just look him up. He kills it. 20-something years old. He knows how to leverage all of this stuff to where he can get in mansions for little to no money. He can rent cars for little to no money at all, guys. Typically, a Lamborghini, when you're renting it, it usually costs around $1,200 to $2,500. This guy knows how to get it for around $100 a day, guys, off of credit knowledge. And then we'll go over that. But this is the power of credit. This is the lifestyle you can live by just leveraging your credit. But a lot of people didn't tell you this kind of stuff. But I'm telling you now, the power in it. All right. So this is just another picture of him hanging out at mansions, you know, with the ladies, doing this thing. You know, this young guy having fun. But he's just letting you know this is the kind of lifestyle you can have by something they told you not to use. Parents and stuff told you not to use credit cards. They're evil, they're bad, stay away from you going to debt. This guy completely changed the narrative. It's something that you need, it's something that you can use if you know how to use it right. So that's what I love about it, right? So rich people are not afraid of debt. Why? Because you see, they know how to get out extremely fast and continue to use debt to get richer and richer, guys. They know how to do it. And the crazy thing is, you see this? This is how they feel. You know, they know how to get out of debt, guys. They know how to do it, and they know how to do it extremely fast. Most people are scared of debt. I don't want to use credit cards because I'll go into debt. Listen, you only go into debt when you don't know certain things, right? When you're spending money at the mall and you're buying, you know, purses and bags and shoes and washers and dryers and all that kind of stuff, you're going to go into debt. And especially if you don't know how to get out, you're going to stay there. You see, most people believe that their credit card is a debt. I don't look at my credit card as a debt. I use my credit card as a checking and a savings account, guys, because I know how to use it and I know how the rich use it. So now I use mine the exact same way, and let's see how they use it. Example number one. Let's say you had a $20,000 credit card, right? Let's just give you an age. Let's say you're 19, 20 years old now, right? And you got a $20,000 credit card. Because you watched this video, now you're smart enough, right? And you decide, okay, now I'm gonna look on Zillow. I want to get into real estate. I'm gonna look on Zillow, see what I can find. You stumble across this house right here, 1,900 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 2 baths. You're like, man, that'll be a steal if I can get it fixed up. So you take $10,000 off of your credit card with a balance transfer check. Remember, you can look that up, balance transfer check. Let's say your credit card is 0% interest. So now you can go buy that house cash. Boom. You have the house. Now you got a few other credit cards. You use that money, a few $1,000 off of that, maybe another $5,000 to $6,000 to get it painted, to get a couple of things done on the inside, right? Now the house is movable, right? It's available for people to move in. Now you move someone in that house. Peep this. You move someone in that house. Let's say you're 20, 19 years old, right? You are now a landlord. Now you move somebody in that house. They're paying the mortgage every single month. They're paying that mortgage down, okay? And then they're giving you cash flow. So let's say the mortgage is around, even if you might not even have a mortgage. Now that I think about it, because you bought it cash. But let's just say you did, okay? You move them in there, and then let's say the mortgage payment is like $300. You could charge them $600. Pay the mortgage $300, you keep $300, creates you a cash flow. Bingo. Or let's say the mortgage, there's no more mortgage because you bought it cash, right? You bought the house cash, and then whatever they pay you every month goes directly in your pocket. Now you have residual income and you're a landlord at 19, and you have assets based off of a credit card. But let's say before then you were actually broke. Let's say you were working at Foot Locker, or you didn't have much money, right? You're making $12, $13 an hour, and that was it, right? But now, in 6 to 8 months, you got your credit right. Now you got $70,000 in your pocket. You still work at Foot Locker, right? And then you start buying properties. Now you have assets, guys. This is the power. So let's go to example number 2. Velocity banking is another way, guys. And if you haven't researched this, I want you to research this. Velocity banking is another way that the rich get out of debt extremely fast, guys. Extremely fast. This is a way that you can live the lifestyle. I made another video about this a while back. Some of you remember. This is a way that you can live a lavish lifestyle without changing anything about yourself at this current moment. This is all based off of credit and a little cash flow. So for instance, let's say your income is $5,000 at your job or whatever. Maybe you and a wife, you and a girlfriend. Total, y'all income is $5,000. Your expenses are $3,000, meaning your bills. Your bills are your expenses. So cell phone bill, cable bill, all that adds up to around $3,000. Your cash flow is the money that you have left over after you pay your bills, right? So that's the money that you have left after all bills are paid. So $2,000 cash flow. Cash flow is important in this scenario. So let's say you have a $15,000 credit line, right? A credit card with $15,000 on it. Let's say you went and balled out, did your thing, bought property, bought all kinds of stuff, and you're in debt now, $13,000 because you spent $13,000. Well, this is what the rich people know how to do. This is what I found out, and this is why this is very powerful. Credit is so powerful, guys, and you can do this where you at right now. So check this out. They take their $5,000 check from their job, or from, we'll just say from their job. Take their $5,000 check from their job. They take this entire $5,000 and they put it on their credit card. Bingo. Now their balance drops down to $8,000. The best thing about credit cards is that it's revolving. So once you put money on it, you can now use the money again. Okay? So it's like you're just recycling money. You're never really losing money unless you pay interest. Okay? But this is a 0% interest credit card, as you can see up here. So check this out. They put $5,000 on it, the balance drops down to $8,000, but they still got to pay their bills. They still got to pay expenses. So how are they going to do that? Well, since this is revolving, they can use this money again. So the balance went down to $8,000, but now they have to take out $3,000 because they got to pay bills. So they go from $8,000 to $3,000. From $8,000, they got to add $3,000 because they got their bills. So then the balance goes back up to $11,000. Okay, and then they get paid again, another $5,000. They put the $5,000 on the card. That drops down to $6,000. Okay, you got that? And then they got to pay their expenses again, their bills. So it goes back up to $9,000. Get paid again, goes down to $4,000. Got bills, go back up to $7,000, and they continue to do this all the way until the balance on the credit card is paid off. And that balance will be paid off in 6 months, guys. $13,000 paid off in 6 months. Do you see the power in that? So now that they know that it only takes them 6 months to pay off of $13,000, they now know they can use their credit card to freaking buy $13,000 worth of anything, and they'll have it paid off in 6 months. This is why rich people stay rich, guys. They know that for a fact, that if they spend $13,000 in 6 months, they'll have it paid off. So now I can go buy a car off the lot cash, boom, pay it off in 6 months. I can go now buy some land, boom, pay it off in 6 months. Now they're building assets. I can go buy a property or two, boom, pay it off in 6 months. Now I have that. I can go on a vacation. I could go all out. I can get a Lamborghini. I can rent Lamborghinis. I can go ball out in Miami. I can do whatever I want. Spend $13,000, pay it off in 6 months. And then once they pay it off, the money's available again. So they pay off $13,000. Now they have $15,000 again. Spend another $13,000, pay it off. Now they're back to $15,000. You see, they're never running out of money. They always have that $15,000 ready to go. So that's the power in how they do it, guys. I hope this is blessing you right now if you've never heard this stuff before. If you have, then let's get to it, guys. I'm ready to see you guys in Miami, April. We're aiming for April to meet my subscribers in Miami. Let's go. All right, so the perks of having a credit card. You get cash back, guys. Whenever you're using your credit cards, they give you money back, especially if you get cash rewards cards. These are the cards you want to get, cash back cards. You get free flights. This is how most millionaires are flying for free. They're flying first class for free. They're flying all over the world for free. Why? Because they're using their credit cards, right? They're using their credit cards and they're making money. Real quick, let me go back because I forgot one thing about this. I forgot one thing to tell you guys about this. Whenever, let's say, remember I told you guys they move somebody in. Let's say they do a cash out refinance, and then they pay their credit card off. So I forgot to tell you that part. When they move somebody in here, they do what they call a cash out refinance. They take the money out of that and pay the credit card off, and then they can go buy another property. So I forgot to tell you about that. My bad. Let me get back to where I was at. Now, all right. So then another thing is you get free hotel stays, guys. When you get certain credit cards, you get enough points, you get free hotel stays. So most rich people, they don't pay for flights. Like that guy I was showing you that's with Ty Lopez, he doesn't pay for his flights. He flies free everywhere. He gets free hotel stays, And then for you guys who want this American Express card right here, this is a prestige card right here. A lot of people, when you got this card, you pull this card out, people know, okay, that guy has really good credit and some good money. Okay, when you get to this level right here, there's really good perks, and I'm explaining. So for instance, let's say you have this card, right? And if you're ever in an airport, they have what you call a Centurion Lounge. I hope I said that right. Okay, so people who sit in general population in a airport, you know, they're sitting in those areas and everybody's in there talking. If you want to be secluded and you want to kind of be by yourself, they have their own personal lounge just for Amex users or American Express users. So you can go in there and get free food, free alcohol if you drink, and free food and drinks. Just by having this card, you show them your card, they say, okay, right this way. They have your own personal area where you can sit and do business, and this is all inside the airport. Also, let me tell you what else you get. Let's say you're at an NBA game, right? And you got a nosebleed seat, you're way at the top, you can barely see, players looking like ants at the bottom, right? But let's say you got this card. They have the same Centurion Lounge at most basketball, I think all of them, at any stadium, right? Any arena, I would say. You can go down to the lounge, show your card, get access to it, and even at some NBA games, they have where, you know, courtside, where you can pretty much see the players. Some of the lounges are courtside, so you can go from a nosebleed seat just because you have this credit card all the way down to courtside and have free food and free drinks while you watch the game. Millionaire stuff, boss stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. Now, number 5, perks. Status match. Status match is when you have prestige cards like these, Hilton Honors, American Express, you get status match. And what does that mean? So for instance, if I go to a Hilton hotel and I say, hey, you know, let's say I go to a different hotel than Hilton, but I'm a Hilton Honors member. I can go to a different hotel and say, hey man, I'm a Hilton Honors member. And that basically just shows, when you're a platinum member with certain cards, that's basically showing them that you spend a lot of money with them, even if you don't. That just the fact that you have an honors card, they assume that you spend a lot of money with them. Okay, so they're going to give you certain perks. And so let's say you go to a different hotel than Hilton and you have this card though, and you say, hey, I'm a Hilton Honors member over here. Can I get a status match? And they'll say, sure. So for instance, if you had a $1,200 room per night, you can now get that room for about $300 or $400 because you have high status. And so they give you discounts and deals. For instance, let me give you another example. Let's say you have the Hilton Honors card and you want to go rent a car. This actually happened, okay? This actually happened. Not to me, to a guy that I know when he was renting a car. So let's say he wanted to rent a car. He had a Hilton Honors card. Now, this is a hotel American Express card. But let's say he wants to go rent a car. Let's say he's out and he just wants a Honda. Let's say he just wants a cool little Honda to ride around in. If he goes and say, hey, I'm a Hilton Honors member, do you guys have status match? They'll say, oh yeah, we do. And we can actually upgrade that Honda to a BMW i8 for a little for a discount. So basically, instead of him paying $300 a day for the BMW i8, he'll only be paying like $150 versus paying $40 with the Honda. He'll be paying $150 per day for an i8, right? Or they may upgrade them to something even better than that. So that's the kind of stuff. The next thing is you can do a 6-figure trade line business when you have a ton of credit cards, guys, and I'll explain that. And so what do I mean by a 6-figure trade line business? So check this out. Anytime you have a credit card, right, you can now add people to your credit card. If you have let's say you have a $20,000 limit, you can add friends or family members to that card, and that credit history will show on their credit report, and it will give them 80 to 100 point boost because it's showing on their report that they now have a $20,000 credit card and things like that. And so you can now sell trade lines. So you remember that picture way back earlier in the slides where I showed the guy William Roundtree where he had like 30 or 40 cards and he had cash next to it. Well, let's say those 30 or 40 cards, he can add, let's say 5 or 6 people to each card. And let's say he charges them $400 to $500 a pop for them to be, as a trade line, right? To report on their credit report. They're gonna pay him $400 to $500 just to have his history show up on their credit report. So imagine all of those cards, how many people you can add to each card, and they paying you $400 or $500 a pop. That's six-figure income off of just having credit cards. That's a credit card business in itself, guys. Some other perks are the 0% interest credit cards. The reason why these are so powerful is because you're not paying for the card. You're not paying any interest. So now you can take money off of these cards and you can use it to fund CPA, right? Run ads on Facebook, run ads on Google, run ads on Bing. You guys get where I'm going with this? You can use it to run ads and kill the game. So let's see what else we got. Testimonial, guys. Now this right here is a testimonial from someone off of the channel. Someone off of the channel. Shout outs to Vine Best. Really touched me when I read this. I want to read it to you guys really quick. He says, bro, I just want to give you a positive and heartfelt thank you. I've been struggling after making 100K with CPA a few years ago. It all went crashing down after I gotten hacked and banned off my Google spots. I kept faith but kept missing. I came across your channel and binge watched all your CPA videos, but what really stuck out to me was the credit card, right? I'm 19 and my mom told me my whole life that they were evil, talking about credit cards were evil. A few weeks ago, I decided to go against that and I listened to you. 10K limit a month to invest and pay back. So he had a $10,000 limit on his credit card that he was going to use to invest and pay it back. My life has done a complete 180 and I have already profited $10,000 and I only spent $1,500 off of the credit card. Wow. With drop shipping and CPA, I tried Reddit, borrow, and I was ignored. I'm so glad I was attracted to your channel. I just kept telling God all I needed was a chance and you provided me the path to that chance. Love what you do. Thanks, bro. Blessings upon you. I am extremely happy that some of you people are actually taking heed to what I'm saying and you are being blessed by it. I told you this stuff actually works. And if you get this down pat, guys, your life will change forever. You won't have to be at that job as long as you thought. You can actually build your credit up, build your credit profile up, get these cards and start funding your dreams and live the life you want to live, guys. I'm living it right now and I just want you guys to be blessed by it. So really quick, how can you fix your credit if your credit is jacked up, or how can you increase your scores, right? You can call the credit bureaus, right? TransUnion, Equifax, all those. You can ask them to remove any old addresses, right? So they'll tell you a list of addresses, or you can get the Experian app, but they'll tell you a list of addresses, and if it's any old addresses, you can have them removed. You can say, what names do you have on file? They'll tell you the name and they'll spell it out for you. And if it's any error, if the letters are out of place in your name, they have to remove that. If they remove the addresses and the names, your score goes up, okay? You can get added to a friend or family member's card. That's what we're talking about as a trade line, as an authorized user. You can get added to someone else's card who has good credit. So if you have a grandmother, a friend, an uncle, or anybody with good credit and that has good utilization, you can ask them, hey, can you add me to your credit card as an authorized user? Tell them, I don't need the credit card. I just want you to add me. Your score will go up 80 to 100 points, guys. Especially if they have a high limit like $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000, right? Another thing you guys can do to increase your score, you can get a secured credit card. I recommend Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card. Now, secured card is where you put the money on there. Unsecured is when the bank gives you money, right? So if you have bad credit, they won't give you money yet because your credit is bad. So you have to get a secured credit card. And that's a card that you put around $200 on, and that $200 acts as your credit limit, right? You use it wisely, you build your credit profile over time, and then you get the big limits, right? So I recommend, like I said, Capital One, Discover It, and Open Sky. Now, you do have things that you guys could do if you want larger credit limits. You can go to myjewelersclub.com, and you have to pay, I think, around $100 to get a $5,000 credit limit. Now, this isn't a credit card. This is just a credit limit for this jewelry website. But all you have to do is buy like a piece of jewelry, pay it down, and the jewelry's cheap, right? You just pay it down. So let's say you buy a $100 watch or something like that. You just make small payments on it, and that's going to report to the credit bureaus, and it's going to show that you have a $5,000 unsecured line of credit. Okay, and that's going to show the banks that you know how to manage $5,000. So whenever you do go apply for the actual unsecured credit cards, The lowest they gave you is $5,000 because they saw that you managed that. The highest you probably end up going to 10,000. All right. So Ox Publishing is another one. You get 2.5K. You guys can look into these. Hutton Chase, Self Lender. These are all websites. These three here, you can do all three of these together. If you want to, you can do one at a time. Self Lender is really great. What Self Lender is, it's a CD, which is a certificate of deposit, and basically it's you paying into an account. So for instance, you go to the website, you pick an amount that you want to pay into. So let's say you want $1,000 in 12 months, right? So they'll set you up with a plan, and they'll say, okay, you'll pay $50 a month for 12 months, and at the end of that 12 months, we'll give you the $1,000, right? Because you're basically paying yourself. We'll give you your $1,000 and interest on top of that. So they'll give you $1,000 and a little bit more just for using their platform. Really good, and they report to the credit bureaus every month. For those of you who don't know, you can get paid for paying your rent. Okay, if you're renting an apartment or a house or whatever, you can get paid for paying your rent. All right, this is called rentreporters.com, and then you have Rental Karma. These two websites report to, I think, Equifax or something like that, but you can use these to pay rent, and then it'll show that history, guys. All right, last thing. Oh, well, this ain't the last thing. Close to the last thing. But hire a professional if you don't know what you're doing, all right? Hire a professional. These are guys I recommend. They're beast. All these guys have over $100,000 in credit cards and stuff like that. They'll be able to help you out. They'll be able to remove things off your credit, all that good stuff, guys. So I recommend Rock Like What, Jay Knows Credit on YouTube, CJ the Credit Fixer on YouTube, Work with Neil Charles on YouTube, Vance the Credit Doctor on Google. So these are people that you can look up if you want to, get your credit fixed and get funding. They know exactly about all of that kind of stuff, guys. I'm not even affiliated with none of these guys like that. And I won't get paid from nothing that you guys are doing over there. I really just want you guys to be blessed because I've been blessed by this stuff, and I want you guys to win big in 2020. So this is the kind of stuff. Last but not least, I believe is remember this: use credit cards wisely, and it will change your life, guys. A rule of thumb is to keep usage at 30%. So keep your credit card usage at 30% and below, typically 10% and below. But just to give an example of what that is, $300. If you have a $300 credit limit, you only want to spend 30%, which is only $90, right? You don't want to spend the complete $300. You want to spend at least $90, okay? Number two, you want to use credit cards to buy assets, right? Assets are things that put money in your pocket. So you can buy things like, real estate, use it to fund a Facebook ad account, use it to fund a Google ad account, YouTube ad account. These are things that you can use to now freaking fund your business and grow and scale and win big, guys, okay? Number three, if you use credit cards for vacations or fun, use the velocity banking method to pay them down quick. Remember the methods in this video that I showed you how to pay your credit cards down quick. This is how you can live a lavish lifestyle, right? And still pay your credit cards off extremely fast, guys. And so this is how you leverage your credit, okay? Always, number four, always look for cards with rewards, airline miles, cashback, sign-up bonuses, and 0% interest. This is your playground right here, guys. When you get these kind of cards, you get free flights, free hotels, cash back in your pocket, and 0% interest to then take money off the card and go fund your dreams. Last but not least, guys, this is a long video, and I thank you for those of you who made it to the end of this video. You are blessed, and you will be blessed by getting this information. Number five, use this info to get filthy rich, please, and thank you, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this blessed your entire life. If you hit a job you hate, you won't be there too much longer with this information. Use that job to then fund your dreams, right? Use that job that you're at that you hate. Use those checks to then build up to maybe pay somebody to fix your credit, or just do the things that you need to do to set yourself up to have your credit right. Then get your credit fixed, get your credit cards, fund your dreams, guys. Get freaking rich and wealthy. Let's do this, guys. I know you can do it. 2020 is right around the corner. I want you guys to, make tons of cash. And I will see you guys in another freaking video. Please comment below and like this video if you made it to the end. I will holler at you later. Peace.